It's been a good 3 months. It's obviously coming into a new system, meeting new people and trying to find your own almost spot in the system and in the team and in the environment. But it's really been good. You obviously always, when you go from one system to another system, you always have questions about the system and the people that's in the system and whether you will fit into the system. But I can definitely say that they've welcomed me since the first day I got here. Amazing people in the system and definitely a system that I think this is the start of, and we can grow into something amazing here. And I think that's what I tell the players as well. This is only the start of our journey, and I feel like with the people that we have here, we can definitely make it a special place for everybody.
In my own personal opinion, I think that you are probably the best sevens coach that South Africa has ever produced. But I just want to find out, how has the transition been from the sevens game to now 15s?
Yeah, I think the transition has been challenging at times, but it's always also been good. I think for the first part of my stint here at the Sharks, the focus was more structures and making sure that especially the junior structures are in place, so that when the guys come in now at the beginning of January, that the coaches know exactly what we need of them, and the players also know exactly what we need of them. And I think that was the first part of my job. And then over the last 5 to 6 weeks, my focus shifted more to the on-field and the URC team and the EPCR team and what we tried to achieve there. And I think we've been very blessed in terms of the last few weeks. I know the Connacht game wasn't obviously the outcome that we were looking for, but we knew sending a young, inexperienced team to Connacht, it's always going to be a challenge for us to be successful there, and we were hoping that they will get us success there, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
What has been the secret to your success so far? I know it's still a few games, but probably like 90-something% if you look at the winning percentage. What has been the secret to your success?
Yeah, I don't really think there's any secrets. It's just about our standards and what we expect of the players, not just when we play, but in our training sessions as well. I think discipline has always been part of who I am as a person and the systems that I've been involved with. And I believe that there can't be a culture if there's no discipline. So discipline is really crucial for me, and then just clarity to the players in terms of the game plan and where we try to go or want to go as a team and grow into as a team. So that clarity for me is crucial, because as soon as everybody understands where we're going and everybody's on the same page, it also gives them confidence to go out there and play what we asked them to play. So and then just standards. For me, it's always about the standards, but not just, like I said, when we're playing in the gym, when they do gym work, or on the field when we prepare on the field for the games. It's always going to come down to that standards.
Obviously, from the sevens background, we are used to working with the so-called big name players, but as we've seen in the past, it's not always easy to get the best out of them. So how do you manage these stars? I mean, you've got I don't know how many Springboks we have here at the Sharks, but how do you manage the different personalities that you work with?
Yeah, I think it was basically the biggest challenge for me when I started my coaching career with the sevens. But I think you almost teaches yourself how to manage the different personalities as you develop into your coaching career. I think having the likes of a Roscoe Speckman, it's totally different to a Philip Snyman, and a Cecil Africa, that's totally different to Siviwe Soizwapi. And just almost teaching yourself that you can't treat every person the same, because they got different backgrounds, they got different things that motivate them, they got different things that get them in a zone to be able to play a game. And I think that's probably the trick for a coach, just to figure out the why of the person that you're working with, and then try to speak to that why. And I think it is obviously a challenge. I think with the sevens you don't have the big personalities like you have in 15s, and it is a bit different to manage them. But I think again, it's knowing their whys and trying to connect with them on their what's important to them, and then building those trusting relationships so that they know whatever you tell them is the honest truth, and it's not something that you tell them just to get something from them or just to get them to be happy with what you said, but to really be honest. Sometimes it's tough, especially when it's discipline stuff, but also and sometimes it's a positive if it's a good conversation.
And a player like Siya Kolisi announced that he'll be leaving the Sharks after the Rugby World Cup. A personality like him is obviously a big loss, not just on the field but off the field also. But I'm sure that you are happy with the contribution he had in just like South African rugby in general.
Yeah, listen, I think Siya is an amazing person, and he's contributed, like you rightfully said, not just to the Sharks and probably the Western Province or Stormers, but also to South Africa. Yes, and he is something that you would, or somebody that you would have in your system if you have the choice to do that. But we also understand the reasons why he's going to racing, and he's going with our blessing. I think it's all about his family and the time that he can spend with his family, and we definitely accept that and understand it and respect it.
Neil, thank you so much for chatting to us, and best of luck for tomorrow's game. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's what I like, some kiddo.